Hello, you magnificent mathematicians. Let's go through today's notes, which is all a review. So let's get started with vocabulary. We're not actually going to fill out any of the top part, the 8.8C, 8.8A, or 8.8B, because this is a 6th and 7th grade review. But we do have a lot of vocab in hopes to trigger our brain into remembering all the things that we have learned in the last 2 years. So let's start with what an algebraic expression is. An algebraic expression is a math phrase that contains operations and terms. So it's an expression, not an equation, contains operations and terms, but of course, what's a term? Well, a term is a single mathematical expression separated by addition or subtraction. So when you see like 2x plus 5, that's an expression. Those are two different terms. 2x and 5 are both terms. Going into that, a coefficient. In the example 2x plus 5, 2 is a coefficient because it is the number that is being multiplied by a variable. A constant is the 5 in the example 2x plus 5 because it's a term without a variable. So basically just a regular old number. Then we have a variable. A variable is a symbol or letter, typically letters, used to represent unknown values, which we will then solve for. So we just put a symbol or a letter in place of a number that we don't know yet. Moving on, an inequality is a math phrase that compares two expressions. Well, and how do we compare those two expressions? Well, we have greater than when the left side is larger than the other, greater than or equal to when the left side is larger than or the same as the other, hence the or equal to. And the opposite of that is less than. That's when the left side is smaller than the other. Less than or equal to is when the left side is smaller than or the same as the other. All right, let's jump into it. Page 2, considering page 1 is filled with vocab. Distributive property. The distributive property is where we distribute by multiplication. So step 1, distribute. Multiply each number inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. So what I like to do is circle and then rainbow, just so I can make sure I'm multiplying by every term inside the parentheses. So 3 times x, I don't know what that is. So I'm just going to write 3x. 3 times positive 7, I do know what that is. It's positive 21. Step 2 is simplify by combining like terms. I don't have any like terms at the moment. Step 3, leave no parentheses. And we're good. And I think that is the final expression. Let's try a little bit harder one. This bottom right here, this is just a negative sign in front of it. So I'm going to pretend that that is a -1 and multiply it times everything inside my parentheses. So -1 times -x is -1x, but we don't write the -1 because we just know it's a -x. I still see 1x there. -1 times positive 8 is -8. Next step, combine like terms. I don't have any like terms. I don't have any parentheses, so it looks like I'm done. Let's try a little bit harder one. 4x times x and 4x times 2. Well, 4x times x comes out to 4xx, and we know that repeated multiplication is an exponent, so that would be 4x squared. And then 4x times 2, well, I don't know what x times 2 is, but I do know what 4 times 2 is. So I'm just going to write 8x. Therefore, my final expression should be 4x squared plus 8x. Boom, shakalaka. No parentheses, no terms to combine. Yes, they have the same variable, but they have different exponents. So how about you guys give a try at number 2 up here? All right, cool. Hope you guys got that. I feel like this is easy peasy. So moving on. I'm going to have you guys Try these two on your own, just like the last one. Cool. Hope you guys are able to get that so far. I feel like that's easy peasy. I'm going to do this problem, and then I'm going to have you guys try this problem on your own to see if you understand. So this negative that's outside, we discussed, is going to be a -1, and I'm going to multiply it times the 2x and times the 3. So negative times 2x equals -2x. Negative times positive 3 is -3. I have another set of parentheses that I need to distribute, the -4 that's outside. So -4 times x and -4 times 2. -4 times x is just going to be -4x. -4 times 2 is going to come out to -8. And I do have like terms here. I can combine my -2x and my -4x, and I can combine my two constants. So -2 plus -4 equals -6. -3 plus -8 equals -11. Why? Because they have the same sign, so add and keep. I don't have any parentheses left. I have no more like terms to combine. My final answer is -6x minus 11. Boom, done. Final answer should be 30x minus 26. Cool. All right, these last two, I'm gonna have you guys do those as well on your own, just to do more practice to make sure you fully understand it. All right, guys, there we have it. Go ahead and turn to page 3. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Combining like terms. All right, sorry, let me go back to this real quick. Distributive property, everything we did just here was an expression. There are no equations. If you notice, there are no equal signs. We're gonna keep that same mentality. We're not dealing with equal signs yet because we're not solving for anything. I just want to practice combining like terms, which we honestly just did, so this should be easy peasy. So let's go through all of our vocab words again. Right here, this 12 is going to be the coefficient. The x is what we call variable. The 7 is what we call constant. And 12x is a term, and 7 is a term because they are separated by the plus sign. So, rules for combining like terms. The constant goes last. Variables must go in ABC order. So terms with the variable A goes first, terms with the variable B goes next, and so on. Step 3, you can only combine terms if they are like, meaning if they are the same. Let me write that down. Same variable and exponents. Exponents go in decreasing order. So a to the power of 3 goes before a to the power of 2, which goes before b to the power of 5, which goes before b to the power of 3, and so on. So, like terms. Like terms are the same variable raised to the same power, which is what we just wrote down. That's our exponent. So x and x are like terms. X and y are not like terms. AB and AB are like terms. They have the same letters and the same exponent. Terms that are separated by a plus or a minus sign. Terms are things that are separated by plus or minus sign. X and XY are not like terms. X and x squared are not like terms. Y squared and y squared are like terms. A variable with no coefficients that has a coefficient of 1. So it's imaginary. So for example, x means 1x. X squared equals 1x squared. But they're imaginary. We don't write it. We don't waste our ink. We can just see that the 1's there because it's only one of them. The sign before the term tells whether it is positive or negative. This is muy importante. Please make sure you know that. If there is no sign before the term, then it is positive. You are to always assume positive if there is a lack of a sign. For example, 4x minus 2, the 4x is positive even though there is no plus sign in front of it. And the 2 here is negative because there is a subtraction sign in front of it. So moving on to inequalities. When the left side is smaller than the other side, we call that less than. When the side is smaller or the same, we call that less than or equal to. Which kind of makes sense, right? We do have equal. That's when we do equations. And then the opposite, when side is larger than the other, we know that's greater than. And then lastly, we have greater than or equal to. Cool. So for examples, down here, this 2x plus 5 is less than 3x minus 4. Here, 4x plus 2 should be greater than 12. 12x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 9x plus 2. That's it. We're not going to solve anything. We're done. Cool. Last page for today's notes. I know we're doing a lot, but that's fine. We can do it. All right, 3x plus 7x. If I actually write this out, if I have 3x's plus 7x's, right? They're all the same. So I can just put them all together. 3 plus 7 does equal 10. So I would just write 10x and not actually write out 10x's because that would be silly. I like to use the trick of circling, boxing, triangles, to identify my different terms that are in a expression or equation. You don't have to. Do whatever you want to do. So for example, here I have 2x plus 3x, and then I know that this negative 4 is different because there is no x on it. So I'm going to combine the 2 plus the 3, which equals 5x, and then just slap on that negative 4 at the end because I can't do anything with it. So my final answer is 5x minus 4. All right, 3x minus 1x, right? Because we have that invisible 1 there. If I have 3 x's and I take away 1x, how many x's do I have? Yep, that's 2x. Boom shakalaka. All right, I am going to do this one, and I want you guys to try these two on your own. So 3x plus 4xy minus 2x. I see that this 3x and the negative 2x have the same variable and same exponent, but that 4xy is different, so I cannot combine it. So 3x minus 2x, I know that equals 1x. And then I'm just going to put that 4xy at the end because I can't combine it with anything. It is what it is. All right, if you've got like a really, really big long one like this guy, 3x minus 5 plus 2y plus x plus 4y minus 10 plus 6x. That's a lot. So I'm just going to break it up to how many different terms I see. I see the 3x. So I'm going to circle all the ones that just have one x in it and pull those out and do those separately. So here's my x's. So I can combine 3x plus x plus 6x. Then I see the terms with the y, so 2y plus 4y. That's it. So I'm going to have my y box. 2y plus 4y. And then lastly, I see my constants. -5 minus 10. Okay, 3x plus x is 4x plus 6x is 10x. 2 plus 4 is 6y. -5 minus 10, same signs, add and keep. -15. So my final expression in alphabetical order comes out to 10x plus 6y minus 15, which I'm more than positive you guys are able to do on your own. That's it, guys. That was everything. So you should have all 4 pages pretty much filled out. Let me know. Let your teacher know if you need help with anything, if you did not understand anything, need clarification with anything. And then, as always, come tutorials if you need it.